You walk into a room and you feel it instantly. You speak, but your words seem to evaporate. You explain yourself, you accommodate, you bend over backward trying to prove your value. And yet, the respect you crave constantly slips through your fingers. You are trying too hard. You are pushing, convincing, and broadcasting your worth to a world that only respects what it cannot easily control. But then, think of that other person. You have seen them. They don't shout. They don't fight for the center of attention. They don't scramble to fill the awkward silences. Yet, when they enter, the atmosphere shifts. When they speak, people lean in. They command a room without demanding it. They possess a quiet, gravity-like pull. What is their secret? It is not charisma. It is not money or status or an extroverted personality. It is mastery. Thousands of years ago, the Stoic philosophers understood a brutal psychological truth. The world does not respect those who beg for its approval. Respect is never granted to the desperate. It is yielded naturally to those who are completely rooted in themselves. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who possessed ultimate authority, knew that true power did not come from his crown. It came from his unshakable internal state. If you are exhausted from feeling overlooked, if you are tired of performing for people who do not value you, it is time to stop negotiating your dignity. You cannot talk someone into respecting you. You have to embody the kind of character that leaves them no other choice. Today, we are going to break down 7 Stoic rules that will rewrite your presence. These are not manipulation tactics. These are profound psychological shifts that will rebuild your confidence from the ground up. If you are ready to step into your quiet power, hit the subscribe button right now. Leave a comment declaring your commitment to this path. Share this with someone who needs to stop giving their power away. And do not skip a single second of what is to come. Every rule is a piece of armor. Seal your intention right now. Drop this in the comments. I command my own respect. Number 1. The discipline of the pause. Watch how people interact in a conversation. Someone makes a sharp comment, and immediately the other person fires back. Someone asks a challenging question, and the other person rushes to answer, stumbling over their words, desperate to avoid the silence. We have been conditioned to believe that speed equals competence. We think that if we don't respond instantly, we will look weak. But the Stoics knew that immediate reaction is the ultimate sign of weakness. It shows that your mind is at the mercy of whatever external stimulus just hit it. When you react instantly, you are playing by their rhythm. You are stepping into their frame. The most powerful people practice the discipline of the pause. When someone challenges you, insults you, or demands an answer, do not rush to fill the space. Look at them. Breathe. Let the silence hang in the air for just 2 or 3 seconds. That silence is heavy. That silence is intimidating. By pausing, you are sending a subconscious message. Your urgency is not my emergency. Your provocation is not enough to disturb my peace. Epictetus taught that it is not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. When you pause, you reclaim your judgment. You strip the other person of their power to dictate your tempo. Silence makes insecure people uncomfortable. They will often start talking again, over-explaining their original point, effectively negotiating against themselves. You don't have to raise your voice to command authority. You just have to be comfortable in the quiet. Commit to this mastery. Write in the comments, I control the rhythm of my mind. Number 2, sever the cord of validation. Why do we over-explain? Why do we justify our choices to people whose opinions shouldn't even matter to us? We do it because we are secretly terrified of being misunderstood. We want everyone to look at our lives and nod in agreement. But the moment you start explaining your decisions, you are silently handing over your authority. You are asking for permission to live your own life. Respect evaporates the moment people sense that you need them to validate you. Seneca wrote extensively about the folly of living for the crowd. He understood that the crowd is fickle, emotional, and easily swayed. If you build your identity on their applause, you will be destroyed by their silence. To command respect without saying a word, you must sever the cord of external validation. Make your choices based on your deeply held virtues, and then let those choices stand alone. If someone questions why you left a certain job, why you ended a relationship, or why you follow a certain routine, you do not owe them a thesis defense. A simple, calm, "It is what is best for me," is a complete answer. When you stop begging to be understood, people naturally begin to respect your boundaries. They sense an invisible wall of self-assurance. They realize that you are the sole author of your life and that your narrative is not up for public editing. When you no longer need them to agree with you, they will start looking up to you. Number 3. The weight of deliberate movement. Anxiety is physical. It lives in the body. You can see it in the way someone taps their foot, darts their eyes around the room, or frantically nods their head while someone else is speaking. Fast, erratic movements signal a mind in chaos. It tells the world that you are eager to please and afraid to take up space. Stoicism is not just a philosophy of the mind, it is a philosophy of action. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to perform every action with complete, deliberate intention. Think of a lion walking across the plains. It does not hurry unless it chooses to. It moves with a heavy, purposeful grace. If you want to cultivate an aura of immediate respect, slow down. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your walking pace. When you turn your head to look at someone, do it smoothly, not with a sudden, jerky reaction. When you reach for a cup of coffee, do it deliberately. This might sound trivial, but it triggers a massive psychological shift. When you slow your physical movements, your nervous system begins to calm down. Your heart rate stabilizes, and externally, people perceive you as grounded. You look like someone who knows exactly who they are and where they are going. Rushing is a symptom of believing that someone else's timeline is more important than your own. Deliberate movement is the physical manifestation of inner sovereignty. Number 4. Become emotionally unshakable. There is a profound difference between having emotions and being ruled by them. Society today celebrates the dramatic. It encourages people to wear their outrage on their sleeves, to explode at every minor inconvenience, and to broadcast their grievances. But an emotionally volatile person is never respected. They are only managed. People walk on eggshells around them, not out of reverence, but out of exhaustion. The Stoics viewed emotional control as the highest form of human achievement. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master, Epictetus declared. Think about the gravity of that statement. When someone makes an underhanded comment and you lose your temper, you have just handed them the keys to your mind. You have proven that they can control your internal state with a mere sequence of words. To command respect silently, you must become a fortress. When chaos erupts around you, when colleagues panic, or when someone tries to provoke an argument, you must become the calmest person in the room. You watch the storm, but you refuse to invite it inside. You absorb the tension, analyze it, and let it pass through you without altering your heartbeat. When people realize that they cannot manipulate you into an emotional reaction, they stop trying. Your calmness becomes a mirror that reflects their own instability back at them. And in the face of your stillness, their chaos looks foolish. You become the anchor, and human nature always gravitates toward the anchor. Declare your strength in the comments below. I am the master of my emotions. Number 5. The power of strategic absence. We are taught that to be valuable, we must be indispensable. We think we need to say yes to every invitation, answer every message within seconds, and be constantly available. We mistake access for importance. But the laws of human psychology dictate that whatever is infinitely abundant loses its value. Water is essential for life, but because it is everywhere, we take it for granted. Gold is useless for survival, but because it is rare, men have died for it. Your presence works exactly the same way. If you are always there, always lingering, always available at a moment's notice, people will begin to treat your time as worthless. You become part of the furniture. The Stoics valued time above all else. Seneca urged his students to guard their time more fiercely than their wealth. To earn respect, you must learn to withdraw. You must become comfortable with absence. You do not need to attend every gathering. You do not need to reply to every text the second it vibrates in your pocket. When you leave the room, you allow people to feel the space you left behind. When you restrict your availability, you train people to understand that your time is a finite, premium resource. This is not about playing manipulative games. It is about genuinely having a life, a purpose, and a mission that demands your focus. When your absence is felt, your presence becomes an event. Number 6. Neutralize praise and criticism. If criticism has the power to destroy your day, then praise has the power to control your life. They are two sides of the same counterfeit coin. Most people spend their entire lives oscillating between these two poles. They puff up their chest when someone flatters them, and they crumble into defensive rage when someone critiques them. A Stoic looks at praise and criticism and recognizes them for what they are: mere air vibrating against vocal cords. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Does an emerald lose its beauty for lack of admiration?" The answer is no. Its value is intrinsic. If you want people to look at you with deep, unspoken respect, you must stop reacting to their judgments. When someone insults you, do not rush to defend yourself. A simple nod or a calm, "Thank you for your perspective," is infinitely more powerful than a screaming match. It shows that their negative opinion was not heavy enough to dent your armor. Conversely, when someone showers you with flattery, accept it with grace, but do not let it inflate your ego. Do not become addicted to the applause. When people see that their compliments do not make you desperate for more, and their insults do not make you crumble, they realize they have absolutely no leverage over you. You are operating on a completely different plane of existence. You are self-contained, and nothing commands respect more than a person who does not need anyone else to tell them they are worthy. Number 7. The authority of deep observation. In any room, the person who talks the most is usually the one with the least power. The compulsive talker is trying to prove their intelligence, trying to win the crowd, trying to establish dominance through sheer volume. But true power sits back. True power watches. When you learn to observe instead of broadcasting, you gain an incredible tactical advantage. You notice the subtle body language. You see who is actually pulling the strings. You hear what is not being said. The Stoic philosophers were keen observers of human nature. They knew that you learn nothing while your own mouth is open. When you are in a meeting, a negotiation, or a social setting, lean back. Listen intensely. Do not interrupt to insert your own story. Do not nod frantically just to show you are paying attention. Just hold eye contact and absorb the information. When you finally do choose to speak, your words will carry the weight of a sledgehammer. Because you haven't wasted your energy on meaningless chatter, everything you say will be calculated, precise, and impossible to ignore. People respect the quiet observer because they don't know exactly what you are thinking. Your silence is a blank canvas, and human nature will naturally paint a picture of authority and intelligence upon it. Respect is not something you can hack. It is not a trick you play on the world. It is the natural shadow cast by a person who has mastered themselves. The world is loud, desperate, and frantic. Everyone is fighting for scraps of attention. But you are stepping off that battlefield. You are choosing the path of the Stoic warrior. You are choosing to guard your mind, secure your boundaries, and build a fortress of self-worth that no external force can penetrate. You don't need to announce this change to the world. You don't need to tell people you are becoming stronger. You simply need to do the work in the dark, in the quiet corners of your own mind. The results will be deafening. The respect will follow naturally. As a byproduct of the respect you have finally decided to give yourself. Take these 7 rules. Ingrain them into your daily habits. Protect your peace. Move with intention. And stop handing your power away to people who have not earned the right to hold it. If you have made it to the end of this video, it means you are serious about your evolution. You are not just a passive listener. You are a builder. Hit the like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you are subscribed. Seal your journey today. Leave this final affirmation in the comments. My presence is my power. Stay grounded, stay focused. Keep building your fortress. I will see you in the next one.